Hi and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben and this is my review for Only Murders in the Building. It's a non-spoiler review, so I'm just going to give you whether it's great or not, whether you should watch it. On this topic, let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite Steve Martin or Martin Short or Selena Gomez movie or TV series you've seen? But for now, let's jump in. Three strangers who share an obsession with true crime suddenly find themselves caught up in one. Starring Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez. Okay, so there's 10 episodes, they're about half an hour a piece, and at first I should say the best thing about this series is how creative the creatives have been allowed to be in this series. It takes chances in places that I wasn't expecting it to, and really kind of goes for it to, their creative juices are flowing amazingly in this series. At one point it seems like there's a bit of a musical theatre theme going on. At one point there's a bit of animation going on. There's one point they're playing with sound, and it just seems like, yeah, okay, they've given the studio a really creative outlet or a storyboard and said, we want to do this, and the creators have gone, yeah, go for it, let's see what you can do. I know of recent that Martin Short and Steve Martin, there's been a couple of things that just quite haven't hit the mark, but if you go back and watch 80s and 90s things that they were in films, you will know of them as being legendary, great, the comedic timing. A lot of the time it was almost slapstick. And this one, that kind of takes a seat back. They lend themselves more into the dramatic, but it's more dramedy and it's more comedic in times for what they're delivering their lines to be. So there is comedy within their personas of the characters that they're portraying, which comes across perfectly because there's this balance of, yes, we still want you to bring forth your comedy that we know and love, but also you're just going to be these characters. And so we have three diverging life stories converging into these true crime detectives wannabe people. If you've ever read a detective novel and you've tried to guess who it's going to be, or you're watching a who's done it and you're trying to guess who the murderer is, the butler did it, this is perfectly that. And these are the three people that encapsulate that. Selena Gomez, she plays as a little potty mouth character. I say potty mouth, she swears much more. She is a culture unto her own compared to the two characters that has a background in theatre. One is an actor who once was. They're both in their late 60s, and coming together with the Selena Gomez character, they're almost worlds apart. They're fish out of water on both of their sides, and they're both learning from each other. So seeing our characters learn some lingo even from what would be classed as modern day or youngsters talk is really endearing to our characters. You feel like they're removed. They've been spending a lot of time alone. So these characters are quite well developed, and I feel like Steve Martin and Martin Short have very well encapsulated, and you believe it completely. Like, there wasn't a point where I was like, that's Steve Martin, although there were moments where I was like, that's a Steve Martin character acting trait that I've seen him use a lot of times, but 99% of the time I was like, yes, I believe him as that character, and I believe Martin Short is that character, and Selena Gomez. So it's written so that you really believe what they're going through. So when you get the who's done it, you are a fly on the wall with these characters trying to guess who done the murder in the building. So you're guessing from the people down the hall to one of the group to random outside of the box thinking, which is what this process leads you to thinking. The writers want you to think out of the box to try and keep you guessing, and it really does. It keeps you guessing the whole way through.
Sounds like an afternoon.
They form a podcast as the stories go on, so as you're following each episode, they're releasing an episode of their podcast. I could totally see this being a podcast or a theatre production. It's just evocative in the imagination. We have another world of these fish out of water characters trying to be cops, basically detectives. You put all that together and you have timing, and that could work, but it would only work really well if the writing has been polished to a T, because you can use people that are well known, but if their timing isn't great with this, if it doesn't keep you guessing, if their presence on screen doesn't keep you coming back for these short half-an-hour episodes, if it isn't intriguing enough or the story isn't compelling enough, then you won't come back. But I have to say, the writing feels so polished that when you get what you get on screen, everything feels like it's not wasted. They even mention, like, well, what was that episode in dialogue? What was that episode for? It feels like nothing moved the story. But when you see that in context, it really, context, I don't know what that word is, context, it really comes to fruition. You're like, I see what they were doing there. It just feels like a very intelligent, fun whodunit. And that I think is a major plus in the quiver of all the things that this series gets right. It's fun to watch. Some series take themselves so seriously, especially whodunit, and it gets really dark and depressing. This one is a lot of fun to watch. So you're on this ride as a fly on the wall with these characters, trying to guess who's done it. Let me know in the comments below, are you excited for this? When you've watched it, let me know what you thought of the ending. But for the most part, I think you're really going to enjoy this. The first 3 episodes drop. I should be releasing this review now. In the US, I believe it's on Hulu as an original. In the UK and some other territories, it's on Disney because of the Starz platform. So you should be able to watch the first 3 episodes. Definitely put this on your list. I'm giving this an A. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.